Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and today is Tuesday, August 15th, 2023. I am getting ready to go back to work here in just a little bit. I've got to leave within 15 minutes. I will try to keep it brief. I know that I don't normally keep it brief. I apologize for that, but I will try. I just wanted to give everybody a quick update. I know a few days back I had recorded a video and talking about how I've kind of been in a funk lately, and I am kind of slowly crawling out of it, which is awesome because it's great to take some steps in the right direction. I have plans happening, and like I talked about in my last video that I recorded, that I am planning on... Sorry, I get distracted. I am planning on implementing a plan, since apparently I'm liking saying that. Say hi. Or don't, whatever. Anyway, and part of that is formulating the plan so that I can implement it. So I have been thinking about the best thing that I can do to fix my life. And like I said in the last video, I know that if I can conquer my mornings, that would be fantastic. But there's so much more that's been pressing on me about that. So I decided basically, let's start small and kind of go back to where I was when I first started my health and fitness journey. I decided that I was going to work out like at least 3 times a week, and among other things. And so I am going to be implementing that. Tonight is a volleyball night, so I'll be going to play volleyball this evening. And then I have volleyball one more time this week, and then I have to work out somewhere in between or on Saturday or whatever. So that'll be fun. UA is bugging me. Anyway, and then the other thing that I'm trying to do right now is I am just trying to, I would like to stay under my calorie count for the Lose It app. And so I went over like 200 calories, I think, yesterday, or nearly 200, 100 something. And that was decent. And this is quite the journey because like today, I think it's really eye-opening when you try to go back to a positive change, a positive, healthy change, and you know you've been out of it for a while. This lighting is horrendous. Wow. I might just take this chair into the kitchen that way, or a chair into the kitchen. That way I don't look so horrible. But anyway, so because we've got plenty of natural light in here and it's not nearly as bad. My face doesn't look as horrible in here. So, and again, part of that, as I've mentioned before about my skin looking healthier when I was eating better and everything and drinking lots of water, is my skin looks like garbage because I've been eating a lot of garbage and whatnot. So anyway, so I have been trying to eat better and implement that plan to exercise at least 3 times. So even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes, I'd like it to be 20 minutes. And then I know that when I very first started getting healthier, it was working out for 15 minutes. No matter what I did, at least 15 minutes. Volleyball, we play for a few hours each time. But at least 15 to 20 minutes of exercise every week, 3 times a week. So that is the plan for now. Like I said, tonight is Tuesday night volleyball. And so I'll be going to do that. And then let's see here, Friday night's volleyball. And like I said, I need to work out at least one more time between. So I have my 3 times and I'll figure something out. I don't know if, since today's Tuesday, I might go to the gym tomorrow, either in the morning, which probably won't happen because I'm still working on getting out of bed on time. But I know that there are some of you out there, including my old self, that would be like, just do it. You can't say it's probably not going to happen. Just do it, you know, and I don't do it. So yeah, it's just tough. And it's really hard to try to balance self-compassion with self-discipline. So I'm still working on that. But anyway, if I don't go in the morning tomorrow, which is Wednesday, I will go either on my hour-long lunch break, thank God I have one, or I will go after work because I don't have anything planned for after work tomorrow. So that's kind of my options. And I can do that tomorrow, or I can do it Thursday because same situation Thursday. I don't have anything planned in Thursday evening, and that's cool. So anyway, that is my plan as far as exercise goes. I'm going to see how I do this week. But one of the inspiring factors that has helped me kind of rethink my capability, I think sometimes we know that like it's hard when you know that you're able and capable of doing something and you're so far in the opposite direction that you feel like you'll never get back to where you were. And I may have talked about it before in a video, but I have worked off 60 to 70 pounds twice in my life. And the most recent time that I did that was, within the last 5 years, I'll say. But I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember if it was 2020 or 2021 where I hit my lowest. And I think it was 2020. I was actually doing phenomenal in 2020. It's actually a very good year for me. But I had to work my way down. So, down to that point where I was, worked off X amount of weight and made a lot of healthy choices and ate healthy snacks throughout the day and all this other. So I have my goals written down in this old Hogwarts journal that a friend of mine got me. It's very old and it's beat up for me carrying it all over the place, but I thought I would show it to you. And I know that the camera is going to be flipped, so I apologize. But anyway, here is this journal that my friend got me. And like I said, it's very beat up and so beat up, in fact, that the inside is busted. So, but anyway, but it has some goals in the front that I had written down back in 2018. And again, I don't know. I can't remember if in any of my videos I ever read them out loud. I'm not going to read them out loud today. But since I found it a few weeks, maybe a month or so ago, I have been reading 2 of the 3 goals and kind of verbally adjusting them to be present day because they are, again, from 2018. And interestingly, one of my goals I passed. I didn't make my goal, but I passed the deadline for the goal in July. So I was planning on being debt-free within the 5 years whenever I first set my goal. And it was supposed to be by July 8th of 2023. And instead of that happening, I went back to school. And I got myself a new vehicle, my Jeep that I have. So, but I have become so much more responsible from having set that goal. And I have paid off a few of my smaller debts and some personal loans. Like one of my things that I mentioned in my journal is this loan that my dad gave me. It was like $1,100 to help me replace my transmission in one of my vehicles. And then I had promised to pay him back, and I had a plan for paying him back, and I followed my plan and I paid him back. So that was something that was great that I read. But anyway, so that was one of my goals. And then one of them had to do with Great Clips, the place that I worked before. And obviously that goal's out the window because I don't work there anymore. But then, and that was the first goal that I wrote in this book. Out of the 3 goals that I had, I started with that one, and then the debt-free one, and then the last one was to be more healthy and fit, but specifically to get down to 200 pounds by my 33rd birthday. Well, I am 36, and I got very close. I was only like 7 pounds away, I think. And I want to say in 2020, I was only like 7 pounds away from being down to 200 pounds. And my 33rd birthday was, I think, 2019. But even though I didn't make it to that goal, I carried on, and I am trying to find some things. I carried on and I stuck to my plan, and I got really, really close in 2020, I think. So anyway, so it maps out because I have like I said, I've read a lot of books and I've watched a lot of videos and everything. And one of the things that back in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he talks about writing down your goal and being as specific as possible on what you're going to do to get your goal. And then, you know, among other things. So I've got all these things written down and I've been reading them before bed. And he talks about when you write it down, read it 2 times a day, at least 2 times a day, once before you go to sleep and once upon waking up in the morning, so that it's constantly in your head, so that you're reminded of what your goals are and what you're planning on doing to make those goals happen and all that jazz. So anyway, on top of that, which a lot of different people have talked about, like big motivational speaky people, that either they are motivational speakers or they're people who have done things in their life similar to what you're doing, whatever your goals are. They talk about, instead of, like, Tony Robbins, for example, is one of the ones that talks about writing down what you plan to gain instead of just what you're going to lose or what you're going to miss out on and everything, because then it makes you feel like you're missing out on stuff. So I had a list. So I've been looking over that list and I've added a couple of things to that list, but I've been looking that over every night before I go to bed as well. And then just a few nights ago, before I went to sleep, I went to my progress notes that I had written down and started these progress notes, because I think that Jim Rohn was one of the people who talk about writing down when you make progress, or, you know, celebrating it in some way. And so I had written down in my progress notes every time I did something that was a real progress / improvement in my life. One of them, back in on June 4th of 2019, I wrote down my hygiene has improved tremendously. So that was a really great progress that I had made. Let's see here. What else had I done? All kinds of stuff about trying to be a jogger, and when I finally got there and everything, when I finally fit into an 18-20 shirt size / dress size. So that was cool. Let's see here. When I signed up for a gym membership, making it a whole day without soda, making it a whole week without soda. Like, they're kind of seemingly small unless you've been in or are in those situations. And I know that some of you are. And so literally just writing them down was a way to celebrate, hey, I made it this far. So let's see here. I'm trying to find when I hit that. Like, I've got weight goals, like when I paid off this debt collector, like back in 2019. I mean, there's just so much. So even talking to someone about some things that were on my mind that I wanted to advocate for myself, and having done that, using a machine at the gym that I hadn't been able to use, and then being able to use it and being able to do sit-ups on something, all that jazz, down 50 pounds in October of 2019. Let's see here. Loving my double chin action that I've got going on. I'm trying to find. Let's see here. I got down to 215 pounds at one point or another. Yeah, it was I think it was in either it was in very late 2019 or in early 2020, because it looks like I had I don't know what you call it, fitting into certain shirts that I'd gotten, all that jazz, but feeling certain muscles that I never felt before in my life, like thigh muscles and whatnot. So let's see here, running a 10K, all that jazz. So anyway, but so it looks like in 2020, that was when I got to my lowest. Somewhere in 2020, I had gotten down to my lowest weight of like 207-ish. As an adult, maybe even 206. I don't know, but I didn't write it down, but regardless, it's still pretty cool. So anyway, just reading over all of those progress notes helped me be inspired to, like, it made me remember that, yes, I am absolutely 100% capable of doing this. I've done it before. And that also I need to start celebrating my small victories and my progress that I've made so far. I apologize. I'm like super dry right now talking, but anyway, so I digress. It's what I do, but I want to, just wanted to kind of touch base and say that I am in a better mental state right now than I have been in like a month. And I am really giving it effort to try to stay in the more positive mental space. And that I'm also, like I said, kind of coming up with some small plans so that I can do better. And speaking of which is I'd like to be on time back at work. So I need to leave within the next 5 minutes to be back on time at work. But I am just trying to do just a little something, and then trying to be satisfied with, if I only do a little something every day, whether it is health and fitness related or whether it is getting my house cleaned, whatever. If I wipe down the counters, if I do the dishes, even if it's something, just one thing, I need to be happy about getting that thing done or doing that thing. So that being said, my next endeavor, I know I mentioned in the last video that I am in the middle of Marie Kondo's book about tidying up, and I'm still in the middle of it. But the thing is, I don't want to go to the next step until I've done the step that I'm on. And the step that I'm on right now is going through my books. And so I don't remember if I mentioned it in my last video or not, but I got rid of 5 bags of clothes that 5, was it 5? Actually, no, it was more than that. Probably 6 or 7 garbage bags, kitchen garbage bags. So they weren't huge, but still 6 or 7 garbage bags full of clothes that I just don't wear, or I don't fit into them, or whatever. But they've been hanging out in my closet. A lot of them were too small, and they actually gave me grief, because just knowing that they were there, and they were like almost like goal shirts, but I couldn't fit into them. And the fact that I've been so stagnant, and I'm like, how about I just get rid of these? Because they're not bringing me any kind of joy, for one, if anybody is familiar with Marie Kondo and the work that she does. So definitely not sparking joy. In fact, they're sparking frustration and anger and all this other. So I was like, I'm just going to get rid of them. So that's what I did. And I have gotten rid of so much clothing, and I took it to a secondhand store, like a thrift store here in my town, gave that away. Fantastic. And so now I'm on books, and books are hard because I have this special thing about books that I know a lot of people do as well. They kind of collect them, and then they have like a huge to be read list, and then they go out and buy more books without reading the to be reads. So I am now in the process of looking through the books that I have and asking myself, am I really ever going to read this book, or am I ever going to reread this book? Does it mean that much to me to want to keep it? All this other. So I am going to be taking probably about 5 or 6 books to my job to see if anybody wants them first. And then after that, we've got these really cool book kiosks around town where you can just take the books and put them in this little kind of kiosk-y thing. And it's like a give a book, take a book kind of thing where anybody can pop by and grab a book or donate a book or whatever. So I will be doing that if any of my books don't get taken from when I'm at work. So that is my next step. As far as that book goes, reading the Marie Kondo book, that is. So books. And then after that is, I think, like papers, I think. So, and I'm kind of a paper hoarder too. Like one of the things she talked about earlier on in the book is people who save like their notes that they had written when they were in high school or college or whatever. And I have a lot of college notes since I've started back, which, now I'm graduated, but since I started back at college in 2020, I've kept like everything, and I really don't need to. And it's a little bit hard to get rid of stuff like that because they're kind of very near and dear to me for reasons that some people probably think are stupid, but regardless, I got to leave in like 1 minute. So that is what is happening. I knew that I couldn't keep it brief, but at least I owned up to that, and I am going to go back to work. And, and that was one of the things that I was going to talk about today. I've had some small victories because I really wanted a peanut butter parfait from Dairy Queen, And the way I get mine is in every layer of fudge, I get about half the amount of fudge they put in it, and the other half I replace with peanut butter sauce. Phenomenal, delicious, but not something I need to be eating. So I wanted that, and I also wanted a Famous Star burger from Hardee's, and it sounded amazing. And I'm not going to do that. And so I came home instead, and I heated up some stuffed peppers that my sister had made, and I rinsed off some grapes. So I'm going to be eating a healthier meal, and it's still going to be delicious and satisfying. It's just not going to be what I was craving. But I know a lot of times when you're super hungry like that and you're craving something, you can eat something else that's healthy, and that craving might literally just disappear because you were hungry and your body just went to, like, you know, a super tasty food, which is something I'd love to talk about too, but I don't really have the time now. So yes, hello, good afternoon to you, UA. Anyway, I'm gonna bag up my stuff and get out of here, and I will talk to you all in a future video. Make good choices, be your best self, live your best life, and thank you for supporting me in trying to do that as well. Have a great day. Bye.